everybody to the June 11th WABASH Valley District meeting. If you can't hear me, please let me know. A couple of things on the agenda. I don't know if I kind of sent a link to Perry, so I don't know if you got the agenda up at all. Well, the first thing up on the agenda, it was again about the redrawing of the district lines. I don't think I need to go over where all those lines are drawn, other than the fact that it looks like we are going to be welcoming 3 more units into our district. One is Troop 302. They meet, it's the one by the General Motors plant at the UAW Hall. That's where they meet at. They basically have 3 active scouts. Troop 348 only has about 2 active scouts, and I believe, if I remember correctly, one of them is working or toward getting his Eagle. So,
yes.
Okay. And then we have the Cub Scout pack of 3314. There's 12 registered scouts, but only about 8 are active. So out of all that, we're probably lucky to get anywhere from 10 to 13 additional scouts. We have been in contact with the unit leaders. Michael knows some, Steve called some, or all of them, and I haven't called the Troop 30 or Troop 48 yet, but I think Steve has. So we have been moved into our district now. So my only, and hopefully you understood that we are now down to 4 districts. The Anthony Wayne Area Council is, at this point, is calling them the North, South, East, and West districts. We will retain our name as the Upper Wabash district. So I don't think there's going to be any issues with the 3 units with that left boys of wanting to feel left out because they don't no longer part of the Miami district. So I'll let the council, or maybe Steve can when he goes to work, but let the council know that we are going to remain Wabash Valley. The only thing I have a lot of concern about is this COVID-19, and I'm normally not a Debbie Downer, but it is really hurting. That along with the bankruptcy, the national bankruptcy, we're uncertain of what's been going or what's going to go on with that yet. We know that there's going to be some deadlines. I think the middle of October to, was it October? About 5-6 weeks of advertising that's going to go on the network, saying that if you have any reason to jump on the lawsuits, and and then what was it, November 16th or November 11th?
November 16th
November
is the bar date, as they call it. Be the last day for anyone to file a claim against the Boy Scouts, to be included, after a certain date, in the bankruptcy. So after November the 11th, they will not take any more claims against the Boy Scouts of America. Then that's when they will, the pot of money that they set aside to satisfy all these claims, that pot of money is all there is, and they will divvy it up however lawyers have to do that, and whenever that's gone, it's gone.
As soon as the lawyers get their pot.
So that too.
And then,
yeah, but the kicker is for that 6 weeks from September 1st till the middle of October, the Boy Scouts have to pay for national advertising to make sure that they reach out to as many people as possible that will, that would need to file a claim. So the Boy Scouts have to pay whatever that costs, and plus then you're going to have law firms privately on their own putting out advertisements for, the same thing. So we're going to get double whammied on some of those. And so it's just kind of a no-win situation.
And we're in a time of uncertainty going into the fall right now anyway, with the virus and the lawsuit. So I think Steve's right. It's kind of a double whammy on us. I mean, trying to move forward, it's going to be difficult. Not saying we can't do it, because I think we can. I think we all believe that the scouting program continues to be one of the best youth programs around. I know that I felt so as a youth. I continue to feel so as an adult. But it's not going to be an easy trip up the mountain, but we'll make it. We'll make it one way or another. So the other thing that has a concern of mine is that currently going into the fall, we are, unless things have changed, we are down about 109 scouts from the year before. And of course, we're going to be facing this COVID thing and also the bankruptcy. So if anybody's out there and you're meeting youth, please encourage them to think about getting into scouting. It may be a good time at this point. They've been locked up for so long that they'll want to jump on the bandwagon, or they may see an opportunity to get their feet wet into the program, and then once all this COVID and bankruptcy stuff's over with, that they'll come flooding, and we'll build the program back up to where it should be. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Can I share some, Marv?
Please.
I was on a video call, what's today, Thursday? Tuesday evening, the national office had put on a webinar, kind of giving, it was for professionals and volunteers alike, providing some insight and some suggestions on things we could do in the fall. The first thing was trying to deal with the bankruptcy. They were suggesting that we try to do summertime virtual recruitment events, using Chrome or using Zoom or another web platform, Facebook Live or whatever, to try to reach out to families about scouting. They were wanting us to move, try to do recruitments in schools as early as possible in August, because in September is when all the stuff goes on. They suggested either doing an early recruitment and then waiting and recruiting again in late November. It's never a good time to recruit. They're planning to do planning to try to do another national virtual camp-in, like they did in the fall or in the spring here, like a spring camporee. They're planning to do that again, so if we can kind of maybe use that to direct people to that, that might be a good way. Schools, I'm concerned about getting into schools and talking to kids, so we're going to have to figure out how to do some virtual things. If schools will let us put a video on their, some promotional video on their TV system when they do announcements. We're gonna have to double up and triple up on a lot of promotion to get our word out to people about scouting this fall. So kind of, if you got some ideas, I'd be totally open to any ideas you might have in how to do that. I got a meeting with John tomorrow. He's the one that wanted to talk to all the DEs about some positive promotional messages that we can use here in the summer and fall to counter the negative messages that are going to be out there. So again, if you have any ideas of yard signs, or they were talking about doing a scout parade, you know, in certain towns, you know, where you decorate your cars and scouts in uniform walk along the sidewalks talking to people or whatever. So I don't know if that would work or not, but so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, you said that, that webinar was for professionals and volunteers.
I guess they said there was over 2,000 people on the call.
Is that on someplace where we could go look at that webinar?
They said it's supposed to be on Scoutwire here by the end of the week or first of next week, I believe.
Okay.
If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll see if I can ask the guys that were on the video.
Okay.
Okay? Because I mean, it was pretty interesting. There wasn't anything earth-shattering on it that you would say, oh yeah, that'll really work here, that we should do that. But there was some good ideas. You know, we're gonna have to figure out how to do meetings again when it gets cold. If we can't meet outdoors, then you know, we're gonna have to figure out another way to do video meetings, or you know, somehow social distance meetings somehow in a bigger room or what. So
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Steve on that? No? Well, the next item is the nominating / district committee update. I think P3 got together, was that
yesterday during the storm,
Yeah. And we met, threw out a lot of different types of names possible for unit commissioners, as well as people being on the district committee and also the nominating committee. And then Steve and I and Michael will be looking at into starting to build that nominating committee first. Now, some of it we might be building from the ground up with the district. But still, we're open that if you have any names out there that you think might fit in any position, the nominating committee, we would really like people that knows people in your particular counties, because we're going to be asking them to share names with us as far as people that might be willing to be on the district committee and so on. So you can send out my email. If you don't, let me know. You can send me those and copy Steve and Mike on those as well.
yes, please.
Okay, and then next is Brenda's scouting update. Even though we're ahead of last year's, we're still about $10,000 short of our goal. And I'll tell you, I honestly feel that if ever we need to push to get money, it's going to be this year. We've already lost one district executive due to financial issues. That's why we're down to 4 different districts. But we're going to Steve and I are going to hold off a little bit, probably October, November, and then we're going to start making phone calls again to hopefully raise the additional $10,000 by the end of the year. If you know anybody in your county that is getting those certain stimulus checks and don't need them, you know, maybe a CEO of a manufacturing company, see if they'll donate to the Boy Scouts of America, because we certainly need the dollars. And if you have any ideas of people that maybe we should contact, then certainly email Steve and I as well. Any questions on that? Good. Popcorn, good luck. I'm going to turn this one over to Steve. I'm not sure I fully understand any of it.
No one does, really. Trails End, we've been meeting with Trails End the last month. We've had 2 virtual meetings with them, and we are trying to figure out how to best run the popcorn sale with trying to make sure that we make sure everybody is safe and, you know, we can still sell. Kroger has told us that they are not allowing scouts to sell out in front of Kroger stores anywhere that in our footprint anyway. I think in the state of Indiana, Kroger stores have said that they will not allow us to sell in front of the stores. So things that we've been discussing is moving things online, putting regular products that were on the sales sheets online. They're having some supply issues with the bags that the microwave popcorn goes in. So they are not able to get the millions and millions of those that they need. So they are only going to offer the 12-pack microwave butter online, but they are going to offer a bagged, ready-to-eat, unbelievable butter popcorn in a bag. I think it's $15, $12 maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, they're going to have that. They're putting the chocolate, all the chocolate product is going to have to be ordered online and directly shipped to the consumer. What else? The number of products that we're going to have available to us to hold in our hands is being reduced, and they're more than encouraging everyone to use the Trails End app like they did last year, and that people make online sales to friends, family, acquaintances, people on their email list, people in their Facebook page. So popcorn sales is going to look different. We got one more meeting to kind of nail down and lock up everything. So it is going to be a very different sale this year, and it's more important this year because of the COVID, and we're not sure how many kids we're going to be able to recruit. Plus, they've raised the fees for joining Scouting Now. I think if you were at the round table, everybody heard about that. That's going to be a major hurdle to try to get over. So, we are in desperate need of some funding to try to make sure that we can continue to scout here in Fort Wayne, so in Northeast Indiana. So be prepared. We're probably going to have. I sent out an email last week, one day, giving instructions on how to go in and register your unit to sell popcorn. We're needing every unit to get on and to register to sell, because there's going to be some webinars in July that people can sign up for to find out more about the sale and how things are going to go.
So you set that up when?
It was last week, one day, early last week, I thought. I sent it mainly to popcorn kernels, if you had a kernel listed.
Okay, and so then it came from you.
It came from me, but Trails End also sent one out a month ago with the same information.
He sent it last Friday.
Yeah, that's the day.
Okay. Well, because I was talking to my popcorn colonel and she didn't know anything.
Is that Julie?
I was talking to Miranda, so both Miranda and Julie were doing it, so.
I I think I sent mine to Julie.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to forward it to you, Perry?
Sure.
You've already signed up, Betty, so you're good.
I know.
When I
Yep.
see if I
Thank
go to
you.
trails-8.com, I can register my unit there, so.
Yeah.
So basically, just go there and register.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
I'm sorry.
Look, I did I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
Did it again, yeah, we need all units to go out and do that, so we may need some folks to make some phone calls here next week and try to get people to sign up. This is going to be important.
Any questions on popcorn? And next on our agenda is future roundtable format. Michael, I didn't ask you to do this yesterday, but are you prepared to talk about that? And what you want to do with the roundtable?
About how we're going to do that. I remember a little bit about talking about it yesterday, but I can swing it. Basically, future roundtable formats, what we're going to do is kind of go every other month meeting for probably till, I would say, January is what we were talking about, just so we could, well, face to face. Let me rephrase that. We'll meet every month, but one month we'll do strictly online Zoom or however we do it, and then we'll go to a face-to-face. That way we can still be able to deliver information needed from local unit level to the district level and district to the local level with that. And try to do as we did this month and do a recording of it and passing it out along the Facebook web page. And what I did is I took the YouTube one and delivered it to my local units via a link. So at least they're still getting that information and it's being passed out. The other version of it was meeting every month as Zoom, but every quarter meet. I know we discussed that a little bit, right, Steve and Marv?
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on what people feel comfortable doing. Having people drive from the outskirts, from the south and from Huntington into Bluffton, to me seems to be a issue with attendance. It used to be they didn't eat, or didn't have a chance to eat, so we started giving food and meals that brought them in. But now it just seems like that isn't even a big enough draw to tempt them to come into the meeting. So we did see increased numbers doing it virtually from people that we haven't seen in years, but we're still figuring out that format, that agenda. If we're going to do every other month where we meet face to face, then go to Zoom, or however we do it. Sorry, I say Zoom a lot because that's what I normally use. Or if we go to a quarterly where we have to meet and like turn in paperwork, make sure it gets turned in time. That way we have a face-to-face meeting at the end of the year for when a returner comes along, and we have a face-to-face where we can do the awards ceremony in the spring and filter in online meetings in between there. It's kind of where we were heading and looking at it. We didn't have anything 100% locked down because we want to get everybody's input on what they feel would be better if we go every other month with a face-to-face or a quarter face-to-face meeting and do the rest virtually.
Does anybody else have any ideas or input on that that's on the line right now of what they prefer?
I get feedback either way. So, you know.
You've been getting feedback on the virtual as well, Steve?
I had 3 replies of people that didn't attend Roundtable that said they really appreciated being able to know what's going on in the district. Kelly Wilson and Steve Jackson Both were very pleased to be able to see it online. I was limited to the format I could upload to the small lower quality video. At first I tried a high quality video, and I'd spent 2 days uploading and there were only 30% uploaded, so I had to go to the low quality upload, and it took like 3 hours. So I apologize for the small screen you get, but just the way my setup works. I put out a call for videos on opening ceremonies, skits, anything we could include in a virtual roundtable. I haven't got any replies yet, so I'll keep pushing that. Hopefully we can make the virtual roundtables interesting by including our unit activities. And I'll search online and see what useful videos I can find online that we can attach to our virtual roundtables. So that's my plan of what I put on YouTube. YouTube says I had 48 views, but the total time viewed was only 6 hours, and the average time viewing was 7 minutes. So working out the math of the people that actually watched it, there were probably like 5 people that actually watched the whole thing. That included probably 3 people that actually were at the round table physically. So 5 or 6 people probably watched the whole thing. Everyone else must have been curious.
5 or 6 people that we didn't get to before.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I've sent out 124 email notifications for Roundtable. I did get a reply from a gentleman that wanted to know why he was getting emails, and when I told him he was listed as an assistant scoutmaster and was invited to our roundtables, he was surprised and said, "Oh, okay, I'm in for that." So maybe we'll get someone attending roundtables out of it.
That'd be good.
Yeah, because
That's funny, the guy probably didn't even know he was listed, they just need to put something on the chart.
No doubt. He forgot to go to the meeting.
Yeah.
Any
I thought the
questions?
video was really, I thought the video was really well put together, except for the voice of the guy that was wearing that Troop 130 mask.
That's what I told Betty. I hated editing and thing because I couldn't stand that guy with the Hoosier twang, who was presiding over the thing. So we're always surprised to hear what we sound like in a recording.
Well, you guys did a great job, so we'll keep tweaking as we go along, and that we're moving in the right direction on that, I believe.
I don't.
So my thoughts were to have a face-to-face to kick things off in August, and then maybe have it again in December when recharters are about ready to be done, and then having one maybe in March or one in June. So that's kind of my thought. So I don't know if we want to do virtuals in between them, and just do face-to-face 3 or 4 times during the scout year. So
I think it all depends. I think it depends on where this pandemic's going and when a vaccine's available. Hopefully they'll get a vaccine soon, and we can throw this stuff behind us.
Yeah.
Well,
Too.
That's why they gave me the genified mosquitoes coming out.
Well, if we're reaching more with the virtual roundtables, then maybe that is the way to go. So what are we planning? Why don't we start with the quarterly, if everybody agrees with that, for face-to-face and virtual in between?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
and I'm not sure if we'll be able to continue to be using WebEx. I keep getting notices, hey, if you pay for a year now, you get 4 months free. Like, so far I haven't paid anything, so I'm not sure how long the 100 users unlimited is going to last.
Do you know how much it is for Zoom?
I don't. I mean, we can try Zoom.
When I checked, but I checked this like a couple of months ago, it was $145 for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Zoom?
Half a year?
Well, what we use at the troop is $15 a month for unlimited Zoom, and that gives us the ability to do breakout rooms and everything.
That'd be about $145.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll pay for that. You set it up and I'll pay for it. Is that okay? Did I lose
Yeah,
everybody?
that's fine. No, that's fine.
I think it's so much clearer unless it's something. I mean, tonight's working really well. Unless you want to check into the WebEx thing to make sure how much that costs, but that might be cheaper. I don't know.
I think the WebEx works just as well. I mean, Zoom is good and WebEx seems to be good. I couldn't get on a Google thing because I hadn't signed in on it.
It seemed like WebEx is really working well tonight. Once everybody's on, if we want to check that out, you know, I'll pay the 145 one way or another. If it's WebEx or Zoom, or if it's cheaper, I'll pay that as well. Hopefully.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to you, Perry.
Okay.
Future items and events. Fall recruitment, we already touched on that. Fall meeting formats, I think we've touched on that as well. District events, boy, we're up in the air, aren't we? We still don't know what's going on.
We're still not, you know, we're still not, you know, totally certain about what we can do for camporees. How do we, I don't know, I am interested in, Troop 130 is going to do a summer camp for their troop. Is that next week, Michael?
Yeah, we start that next Tuesday through Saturday.
I'm gonna try to come over and visit with you guys a day and just kind of see how that looks and to see if we can't model that somehow with a camporee and try to determine how we can, you know, make a camporee work and have some activities for kids. So.
Well, for that, we've got 30 signed up, and we're bringing in porta johns and portable washing stations to make sure that those are all available. And we're still following like the basic guidelines that are needed to be followed. And if anybody has any issues, we've already had masks created for the troop and distributed them for the ones that wanted to buy them. So that we're still following those precautions and everything, but I mean it's still an outdoor area where you have to understand that it is outdoor and we have a little bit more space to where they're not right on top of each other, especially when we're trying to do merit badges and items like that.
When are you doing this, Michael?
We start that the night of next Tuesday.
16th.
So setup's around 5, and then we go all week.
And where is this being held at?
Do you remember have you ever been out to Miller's Pond?
Yes.
That's the area that we're utilizing.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'd like to join sometime in there too.
I don't see any issues. We welcome everybody to come out and take a look at it. It's just we couldn't offer it to other troops because if you offer it to another troop, then it becomes a district event outside of just a single troop. So
Maybe Steve, you and I can find the time to go over together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate 130 doing that and taking the time to arrange that, and so I'm just gonna, I'd like to come visit and see how that looks, and we can kind of figure out if we can do a camporee in the fall with some of those guidelines and you know, I don't know, maybe doing some troop camping in certain places and doing the activities by themselves and, you know, doing being judged or whatever. So
One thing I got today from a medical friend of mine, and this is from the Fort Wayne area.
Man,
It says a surge is starting at Parkview Regalia ICU from 2 on ventilators to 11 on ventilators, over 20 in the hospital with COVID-19, and so that means it's starting back up again, and probably because the protests and other things. So I don't think we're out of this yet. I think that we still got a ride to go on it.
no,
So,
It's a little too early for the protest. It probably started from Memorial Day weekend.
yeah, when
Oh,
people
okay.
are, because people are going out and thinking they can go out and socialize again, and it's still out there, and you know, I'm thinking that it's going to come back around and do another run at it here before fall starts. So
Yeah, next week and the week after is probably going to be the effect from the protest.
yeah,
I just also saw that they're planning on
they're
3
both
days of
in.
protest
Something after your chicken.
in Fort Wayne.
wow,
Porch.
okay.
All right. District Commissioner comments. Anything from you, Michael?
My main thing is, as soon as we can start meeting face to face with our units, is seeing what those unit leaders need from us as the district. I know a lot of it is training. I know it, I mean, they all prefer to meet face to face, but when we do a face to face gathering, we only have like 5 show up. So it's, you know, it's putting in all the time, getting the people there that are great trainers that we have, but then we end up with more trainers than people after we've put it together. And I don't know exactly how to fix that yet. I'm thinking of different ways, talking to different district commissioners around the country that I'm friends with, and trying to gather their ideas to see what we can do to get everybody to 100% trained for their position. Because if that takes place, then we've got people in place at every unit that's going to make the unit activities that much more enjoyable to do the retention for the scouts to keep them there. So, I mean, it's great. I got great ideas, great plans, just we can't do contact right now. And sending out emails and everything, people to respond. No, I still would like to do an assistant district commissioner in each county. So if you're in those counties and you would like to do it, or if you know somebody that would just like to spend an extra couple hours a month working on that, send me their email, their contact information, or I'm happy for you guys to pass out my information too. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. I mean, so unit health probably hasn't changed much across the board, with nobody really meeting up until this past week. So we'll see here in about a month how the different units that have been meeting have either increased or decreased their unit health along those guidelines. And then it's all up in the air right now with everything for Cub Scout packs in the fall, because a lot of them don't meet during the summer, so it's kind of hard to get involved with them to see what their leaders need as of right now.
But it's a great time to ask because they're not meeting, so they got an extra hour a week.
Yeah. Ah.
Per hour a week? You know that?
Some of them, it would be nice if they would just return calls. Just, you know, like a message with them, be like, hey, this is, you know, me, I'm in this position now, and what would you like to talk about in the meeting, or is there any questions that you have right now? And it's like, contact me back. A lot of them just don't contact back, and that's unfortunate.
Okay,
And
thanks,
I don't
Michael.
think that-
Any questions for Michael?
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with the COVID. I think that's just a problem of trying to contact people and getting them to reply.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
product of our environment now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, any questions for Michael?
I do. I know last fall there was talk of, I don't know if it was national or maybe it was just our district, or not our district, but our area was talking about putting in statements that we had to have like 95% trained or much higher percentages than we do. Are they still trying to do that this year, mandatory in order for recharter, or are they backed off of that because of what's going on?
A lot of things that I have heard has been a back off, national wise, because they were wanting to do like what they did with youth protection. They were 100% youth protection, or you don't get rechartered.
Right.
They were talking a few select councils, 100% specifically trained for your position, or you can't recharter. Which we were talking a little bit about that last year, and it kind of went to the back pages with everything that has happened. So something I think would be very beneficial for us as a district to try to get ahead on, because it's going to come with everything that's happening. They do want you to be 100% trained for your position, along with your youth protection, in order to do recharters in some spots of the country. So it's going to be here. It's just us getting ahead of the game.
I think our big challenge with that is things like Baloo and outdoor leader skills. Everything else they can do online. All the rest of the training can be done online. So people should be able to do that if they get online themselves.
Right.
Yeah, because for Baloo, it's just the one prereq that you need to do, because I'm on course for Baloo, and as a trainer or staff, that's the only thing online they need to do. But we do offer it twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, but there's been things that have happened beyond our control that have made us have to cancel or push those off.
Right. So that's what the concern is with, like we were talking earlier, we think there's going to be another wave. There's probably going to be, a few more waves of this pandemic before things settle down. So we may be in the fall time, we can't have Baloo, we can't have ILS because we can't meet in person.
Right.
So people aren't going to be able to take the in-person training. But we can encourage them to get all the online training they can get done
Right.
now, and just have to push off on an in-person. And I would push back on national if they did start saying it, like even next year. Hey, you had to have fully trained. It's like, great, if there is in-person available and can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those councils that did the 100%, you had to be 100% trained in your position, also had established training teams that were, massively hitting their volunteers and, kind of like driving the training. But, we're not established like that yet. And in order to, if we said you'd have to be 100% trained in your position, then that's going to leave out a lot of people, because again, if you can't make it to training or whatever the reason is, then people are not going to recharter, and you're going to lose all your leaders. So we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater just because train, which we really like them to be trained, but it's not something we can really push right now.
I'd rather have a willing adult who's willing to learn than an untrained.
Yes.
People just leaving. No adults at all.
Exactly. So that's something I'd like to work towards, is to try to get a district training team together so that we can kind of establish some of those face-to-face trainings, and also try to promote doing online training whenever we have opportunity to get in to get in front of districts or in front of units and leaders and things, to encourage them to get online and do it. But I've been trying to share while people were staying at home. People had opportunity to stay at home, then by all means get your youth protection done and sit down and do a training a day and just kind of fill the time. So I'm hoping a lot of people did that. So.
All right, Steve, closing remarks on anything?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone for participating tonight and all that you do. Thanks, Perry, for arranging this meeting. I've got the district member list with all the district committee people and district commissioners listed on it. We are going to change Herb Scott, or take him off as district chair and leave him on as a unit commissioner, and then put Marvin's name in as district chair, take Sharon Bowman out as district commissioner and put Michael's name in there. Sharon still wants to be a unit commissioner. And Mike Cook, I tried to call him and left him a message. I think the last time I called him and left him a message, it was a month before he called me back. To see if he wanted to be a unit commissioner, because he hasn't been around for a while. We're marking off Chris Loshi. He did not read charter. Anyway, that's looking pretty good. Popcorn units, if you are a unit commissioner, please reach out to your unit and ask them to get online. If they need information on how to do that, please get a hold of me. I will be glad to forward that to you. And so people can get on and do that, because we're wanting them to be on those webinars in July. And I also have a letter here that last legislative session, mainly the Crossroads of America Council started with the chairman of the Education Committee of the House and got a bill passed to allow patriotic organizations. A bill that allows patriotic organizations, of which the Boy Scouts is one, to be allowed to come into schools and talk to students about what they do and how they drive character and leadership and all that stuff, without them being fearful that they're going to be sued for not allowing other types of organizations to come into schools. We're going to send that out to all the school superintendents in our footprint here coming up next week, I believe. Then we'll have to work with them to try to figure out what they're going to allow us to do in the fall. So again, I think that's all I have. The redrawing of the district lines is going to happen in July 1st, and so that we can continue to service those new units coming in the fall. I think I'm gonna bring it up with those units to make sure that they are okay just joining the Wabash Valley District, and we just kind of leave the name the same and incorporate those folks in. There's not that many of them. Pokagon, on the other hand, is kind of in a different situation. They have some bigger units with some more vocal people that may want to rename the district, and as well as Lincoln Way. So I'm gonna reach out to those folks and see what their feelings are, and we'll hopefully we can get them into roundtables and stuff here soon. So.
Remembering the last time when we reorganized the districts and renamed, I don't want to go through that again. I'm sorry.
That's kind of my feeling, Betty. I went through that as well, and that was not a real fun time. Of course, it was bringing a whole new group of leaders in to the fold, and we tore them away from a group of people that they got along really well with, and we appreciate those Huntington people, joining us and really taking a great role. So, but yeah, I don't know, with only 3 units and 15 kids and a handful of leaders, whether they're going to really be that keen on changing names. I don't think any of them were really attached to the Miami district. So we'll see. That's kind of what I'm going to drive toward, but we'll see what their feelings are.
Alrighty, I can see I made a misprint on the agenda. Our next meeting is July 9th, not the 2nd. The 2nd will be the roundtable. So we're going to go virtual on both, right?
Oh, so we are having a July.
I don't know. Do we want to have a July roundtable? We've never had one before.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. That's up to you guys.
We're thinking about not having it. I'm just thinking that we might want to think about getting some of us together to help you, Steve and Betty, plan the roundtable
Okay.
in August. That way we can try and get ahead of the game there and get as much material out, because we're going to do that one in person, right?
Yes, I'd like to. The August one will be on August the 6th.
Okay.
Do we want to have, because I have scheduled a Key 3 meeting on the 22nd of July, do we want to have a district meeting on the 23rd or the 30th?
Everybody knows we've got the 22nd will be the Key 3, the 30th will be the district, and then the 6th will be the roundtable itself.
And we can probably do the roundtable outdoors like we did in June, so we can do that again.
All right, is everybody set up now?
Yeah, Alan needs to go to bed. He's
I know it, poor guy.
he's
Yeah.
working too hard.
Yep.
I want to thank everybody that's here, because you guys really believe in scouting, and I know that we have an uphill battle with everything we have going on.